This is the Anne of Green Gables musical that is a new folk rock musical. So all these songs are going to be folk rock. O'Brien wrote the book and the lyrics, and the music is by Matt Vincent. Anne of Green Gables related. I want to watch or review it or be entertained by it.
Musicals also are just a really cool way to convey emotions, I feel, because I always feel like whenever the talking isn't enough, then they break out into song. And if song isn't even enough, then they break out into dance. That's how I feel like emotions are headed in musicals. So I find it really interesting that they're trying to capture the spirit of Anne of Green Gables into a play, but a play with musicals. And I really feel like more books should be turned into musicals, in my opinion. I saw Pride and Prejudice, the musical, a couple of years ago. And while none of the songs, well, actually, one song was actually really good, but I can't find it online anymore because while Hamilton and Wicked and stuff, those songs you can find online, a lot of like more local musicals, you can't find the music online. So I was actually really excited that this one you can find the music.
Yeah, I was excited about that one because I thought we were only going to get certain songs, but to find all of them was what I found really interesting. I
Totally
think that
agree.
we could possibly actually buy the rights to it, just have everything if we wanted to perform a play. But honestly, I don't have a theater or any kids to perform this play. So honestly, I would love to direct this play.
Although it does actually feel like there's quite a bit of adults in there if you're doing the whole,
Yeah.
if it was a small town theater kind of thing, you had adults and like teenagers in there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think, yeah, you would have to have people with really good vocals because some of these songs
I think small town plays or local theaters, if they're going to put on a musical, they will pick good singers. That's just how that works.
yeah, it wasn't too musical. But having spent money to fly to the South Carolina Horse and His Boy play, I would say yes. That's a small town play, and they did really well.
The plot actually follows Anne of Green Gables, shockingly enough. To a certain extent, obviously, it doesn't do the entirety of the entire life of Anne of Green Gables. It actually stops when basically briefly after Matthew dies. That's the climax of the low point of the play, and then they have the upward momentum of Gilbert allowing Anne to stay in Anverley instead of him being the teacher there. So I would have liked to see it go further, but I think that was a really solid place for it to end. The way that this play particularly puts it together is Anne finding her place in Anverley.
Yeah, there are a few parts here and there, but in general, it is just following the book.
You can cut out different parts of books and still maintain the true spirit of the work, if that makes sense.
I don't mind that so much. I think, though, that some condensing problems occur during the story.
We'll get to that.
All right. In general, it just follows Anne of Green Gables. The summary of Anne of Green Gables.
The play focuses on Anne finding her place here, all of the people surrounding it, how she makes her own place here, and how it becomes her home. The way that they set it up is, of course, we need to understand the mentality of this small town. We need to understand everybody, her arriving and everything. And I really appreciate the way that it brings these adults in so that they start liking Anne. Because it isn't so much that, yeah, she's here. There's quite large gaps in the story, and also Anne herself doesn't care as much about people caring about her, if that makes sense in the book, because she's just doing her own thing and she's like a child. What I'm saying is she cares about not everybody in the entire town. But the way that this play sets it up is we learn more almost from the adults' perspectives as well. Does that make sense? I think it's good to put the adults in so that it gives us a greater understanding of Anne herself. It also shows us how Anne is having a place in the world, because while the books do a great job of Anne living her life, this play is trying to condense all of that into who is Anne and how does she fit into this world that she's in? And by having the adults be these specific people who are reacting pro or against Anne, it really gives us a greater sense of who she is.
Okay, I don't disagree with having the adults in more of the play. Like, I actually really liked their songs that they gave them personally, but I personally just felt like maybe there was too much of it.
It sets up later stuff in the play. This play almost feels similar to Our Town because
I can see
the
that.
way that characters come on board or the way that people change their clothes extremely quickly, like growing up or people dance through and an outfit changes, that kind of felt like Our Town, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It also gave more of a sense of when reading Our Town, everybody feels like they have more of an equal plot. And I think that the author of this play was going for that kind of thing because the play is not entirely carried on the back of Anne of Green Gables. You're getting a lot more. You can even see it in the way the duet happens at the beginning.
I make a vow.
I make a vow. It's only you and I forever
You and I forever here and now. My love, my best friend. Until the bitter end.
You shouldn't waste time concerning yourself with what people say, Anne.
She's terribly homely.
A ratty, ragamuffin orphan girl.
A lot more people being a part of it. So
Bringing Fred into the story so early to me was like, because technically he isn't in the Anne of Green Gables book, really.
oh no, I think that was an important thing that happened.
No, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying that's different and that's going to take up time. And it did take up time, which I think may have caused problems later because they were taking up time with setting up other characters.
Because we're seeing how Anne's life is going. And it is a fascinating thing because not only is this play almost Our Town specific, but it also goes really deep into Anne is ride or die for Diane, and Diane is also ride or die for Anne, except in this play, Diane gets married to Fred, and that completely changes their dynamic. And the play really wanted to focus on that was the central thing that they wanted to bring up, that Anne was almost back on her own again, because it gives her a reason almost to leave Anvely. At the end there, does that make sense?
Yes.
Because it's a pushing factor of her feeling alone and does she even belong here? You're cutting off her people who she cares about. Matthew's gone. Diana is essentially gone. It feels like all of her supports are falling away. It's that kind of, I think, feeling to it. I think that's why they put Fred in.
I don't dislike Fred. I just think that because they put him in, then actually some things happen that I didn't necessarily care for. Okay, let's get to the songs. Diana's Lament song. I actually found that really fun.
So he won't play that Montague kid to your Juliet. Well, that's alright for you, kid. And don't forget Juliet and what's his face?
Romeo.
I know. Started with warm embrace
And
ended bleeding out all over the place. And they're dead, and they're both dead. Thank goodness love is nothing like the stories that you've read. Love is quiet, love is pure, and if it's you'll wind up dead. So Cleopatra and Mark Antony, you two are not. Well, read Act 5 and consider the plot. Their love is curtailed once Egypt is assailed, and Cleopatra kills herself after Antony's impaled. And they're dead, and they're both dead, yeah. Thank goodness love is nothing like that Shakespeare fellow said.
I actually think that's a perfectly fine song. I just not sure why it was in that part of the play. Like, I feel like it should have been later than in that part of the play. But whatever. It doesn't
I
really
think
matter
the
where
other
it
thing about
is.
this is that in this play, I think what we have to remember is that people will continually be changing from the past to the future, much like our town. And so there is a potential that she is like growing up as the song is.
Okay.
There's a
Because
potential that her outfit starts off younger, and then as the song is going, she's maturing into a grown woman.
I think this is a perfectly fine song. I just think that this is more to do with Anne's later story, not with Anne's current story right now.
I think the other problem is that the play actually does start with the marriage of Diane.
Yes.
We understand that Diane grows up to be a person who gets married. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We keep seeing we're skipping back and forward in time. So it could be a memory of, again, Anne is remembering her from her childhood, but she's actually a grown adult.
Okay. Yeah.
Which would
this
create
seems
a
like,
dichotomy there.
yeah. But song seems more like something that Anne dealt with later in her life, not with when she's going off the school.
That potentially is the case. Yeah, it does, but I suppose you just have to decide when to fit that in. And
yeah, I still like the song.
Stuff.
I just not sure that I would put it in right there. It seems a little weird to put it in right there. Though the song that I do not like is I like pretty much all the songs, but I don't like the different kind of girl song.
They say you never wear a dress. They say your hair's always a mess. They say you're trash, more or less. They say you do not fit the mold, that you're belligerent and bold. Worst of all, you won't do as you are told. They say to stay away.
Like, why on earth would she get a puff sleeve dress if, according to this song, she doesn't even wear dresses? And then we were getting a puff sleeve dress, so I said, okay, I guess it doesn't really matter. But originally, I was just confused because I didn't know what the song was talking about.
Yeah, I totally understand. I think maybe seeing the outfits that she was wearing on screen would...
Well, I saw that picture and she's wearing a plaid. That's the one she's wearing in the Different Kind of Girl song. So my opinion was from seeing that one, that was what she was going to wear all the time. And that was not what happened, so I didn't know what the song was even about.
I think what the song was trying to say was that she was much more unusual than everybody else in the town. So you just have her wearing different clothes from everybody else. And then the way that song is portrayed goes like that. I think that they wanted to make a dichotomy with the pants and the plaid or whatever. But I also feel like the way that we'll see her throughout the play, because the play specifically says that she wears multiple different kinds of dresses.
Yes, and it has her wearing that puff sleeves dress, which she begged for.
I think that probably it gives her, not only do you know who Anne is, she's not like other girls essentially, but also maybe she does occasionally wear that, like if she's going to school or something, just depending. I wonder if it's easier for her to change out into different outfits. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Okay.
Because your base outfit just needs to be easy to change into and out of. If she's wearing long dresses, she can wear pants underneath it. You know what I'm saying? And then she can
Yeah.
just take off
Yeah.
the outer top and put on a dress really fast.
Yeah, that
And
might be a
help.
costume thing. It's true.
Especially because the play specifically says that people walk by her and the puff dress is on her suddenly.
Oh,
Like,
yes, yeah.
specifically, even the puff dress one. So it would be difficult if she was wearing a dress at that time and then they put
Mm.
another dress on her.
Yeah, I guess it's the way they've set up the costume design and
Yeah, and I
clothing
do see that
change.
they definitely want to do quick costume changes. Also keep in mind that she's going to be wearing a dress at Diane's wedding. She has to be wearing specific outfits. The dresses are very easy to take on and off depending on how they're made, right? If she faces the front of the audience the whole time, you can
Yeah.
have a dress that's like Velcro all down the back or something. Or maybe she slips it on really quick. But yeah, I think the pants is just a baseline because otherwise the multiple amounts of skirts she's wearing when trying to take off a different outfit would really cause problems. Yes, I do understand. The play didn't really seem like she was wearing jeans, but
Like the rest of the play didn't make any connection to that one song.
For sure. But I think that even when listening to the song, I didn't really get that she was wearing jeans, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But then again, when reading the play, I felt like I was pretty much transported to a pretty solid version of Anne of Green Gables with the limited time we had been given.
Yeah, the Asylum song and the Imagine scene was really cool.
The asylum walls were overflowing, boys and girls aplenty. Every bed slept 10 or 20 of us, and every slice of bread that they provide.
I really wanted to see that on set. I was like, this is a really cool thought process and design. I really thought, oh wow, we are being transported into what she's imagining the asylum to be. It's not the way the asylum is, but the way her imagination works. I need to see that on stage.
I do love that. I was hoping that we would get quite a few more we slip into Anne of Green Gables imaginings because plays work so well with that. You could just have two people standing over there and they're clearly in their regular life, and then she outfit changes and walks into a different scene and then walks back out outfit changing, right? I thought that was a good way to go. I really like that.
I'm not a huge fan of the Forever song, but it's okay in general. I just thought it needed more words.
Forever, I will hate you forever. Forever and ever and ever and beyond. Beyond forever. For so much longer than forever.
She doesn't have any more words to the song, and maybe a couple
She
more
does,
words,
but I think
but it's
I
not
thought
like
maybe
through halfway through the song.
I'm gonna think the way that that particular song would be better emoted on stage. Hearing it's difficult to really understand. If you see small general facial changes, those are key to sometimes some of these songs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can say I hate you forever multiple times, but she's also, I believe, changing outfits during that song. I feel like it was an okay song to go for because you can still be saying I hate you while indicating on stage that you're attracted to him. I think that's a perfectly fair representation. One can verbally say I hate you while their body language is indicating I am attracted to you and I would love to talk to you, but I hate you. I think it is the way that the person is choosing to create the scene.
There's a thunderstorm appearing in the background. And
Also,
she's in Mr. Phillips' class.
if we find it a core thing of she just singing about that guy, because we do have a chorus of everybody else singing on this side, she doesn't have to take, this is her emotion song, right?
This is right after she hits him over the head.
Of course. She
Yeah.
can be saying, I hate you, just a whole bunch. There's nothing stopping her. She really does hate that guy. And
Sure, she
that
does.
by us seeing her emotions of she hates that guy, she might like that guy, but she also might hate that guy, is helping, because later on again, we have to understand that she makes such a definitive thing and that she's gonna follow through with that for the rest of her life. So this song has to be impactful to you as the watcher. She will never forgive this man because the climax of the story matters.
It'd probably be better on stage. It was just hearing it, I was like, this is a repetitive song and not as enjoyable to listen to, but obviously actions on stage would make the song more enjoyable to listen to. For instance, Matthew's song is so sad.
What do I know about beauty? Nothing much at all, except the knobbiest little tree will still change colors come the fall. And the scariest, hairiest caterpillars become the prettiest butterflies. So maybe sometimes beauty likes to take us by surprise. What do I know about people? Not much it seems, except no matter shape or color, we all got the same old dreams. We laugh when we laugh, and when we hurt, it's our heart that aches. But the big guy made us just as he wanted, and the big guy makes no mistakes. So your hair's a little red, like carrots, so they say. Well, I'm a farmer. I love carrots. I eat them every day. It's just the way you look at things determines what you see. Carrots, caterpillars, some knobby little tree. Yeah, I guess I don't know much about beauty, 'cause they're all beautiful to me.
Just sweet song.
Yeah. Also, we do have to remember that not every song in a musical has to be a banger. So her having an I hate you song, because again, she's so mad that she goes into singing, right? She walked out of talking and she walked into singing because she's so mad. And so that makes sense because it's this emotional moment for her. But it does not have to be a banger.
I guess. And I'm still not sure which one is my favorite. I really enjoyed a lot of them. I think that the Before You Hit the Ground.
So what happens now? Where do you go from here? You were flying so high, but now you're crashing through the atmosphere. Maybe I was stupid, lost in thoughts of Cupid, but tell me what to do, I'll do it.
I Want to Know You.
I wanna know why the tide pulls away from the sand, and why it comes back again.
Marilla's song.
Home, all I ever wanted, all I ever needed was a place to call my own.
Hear the angels singing you home. See the angels bringing you home. And heaven's welcome you home. The world is only ours to borrow. We're never guaranteed tomorrow.
Really felt, oh yeah, I'm listening to a musical. Some of the other songs, like the Matthew song, didn't really necessarily feel, oh, this is a musical song, but these felt like the classic musical songs that you're going to hear.
Sure. Yes. But then again, in a musical, you will have those soft, slow songs. You have to pace everything out with that.
That's true.
You can't just have big musical numbers. And if you don't have the sad, solemn songs, then I think you really miss out on a lot of different stuff.
And as for the story and character development that they did, I think they did a great job with everything that they were going for, all these songs in general. Gilbert's song, I Want to Know You did really tell us some things about him, and then he also had that one where he was like confused why she was upset with him, is during the Forever song. I think seeing though people's costumes, I was confused with what era they were even going for. I guess it's a tiny
I
little town.
I actually like that. I think they were almost trying to say, because if I remember from our town, they would switch costumes, and sometimes they wouldn't switch costumes, and it would just be the older people as opposed to the younger people. You could almost do this one on a smaller budget. People could do different outfits, and you could do it on a much smaller budget, because really the only thing, so you do have to have quite a number of costume changes, but the outfits themselves aren't important except for sort of the puff sleeve and maybe the wedding dress.
Yeah, the puff sleeves. In the song, they said that in one of the songs, they said that her dress was white. I guess were they having her wear it at the wedding? And I thought, why are they specifically making it white?
I think they do have her in that same outfit for the wedding. I'm almost positive. You could only have so many costume changes. And evoking the memory of her in her innocence in the puff sleeve dress and how important this dress was to her because Matthew bought it and everything. And then having it at the sort of culmination of her losing her best friend.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like the dichotomy of this is my childhood, but I'm losing my best friend right now. I'm still in my childhood dress and you are in a wedding dress. That kind of dichotomy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually enjoyed seeing the pictures of their overall costume design. Of course, we didn't see every costume, and it'd be interesting to see the costume changes for sure.
Yeah, I was pretty intrigued by those, but I'm sure some people do it better than others.
The lighting was definitely, when they kept mentioning the lighting in the script, they were like, lighting over here, lighting over there. That was interesting to me.
I really appreciated those stage directions because some plays don't give as much stage direction and you have to figure it out yourself. But I appreciated the fact that the author was trying to make it so that this play could be more easily done by other people.
He wasn't saying, here's the script, do it all yourself, good luck. He was trying to give out some pointers and stuff.
Yeah, and I really appreciated that because while it is true that you could see how he sets up his play, it would be important for a person who's doing stage design to just be able to read those and then imagine how it would work with their play.
These songs were rocking.
I agree.
I think these were very good songs, very well-written songs.
Yeah, I think that my main takeaway is when you're walking away from a musical, there should be like 2 songs that stick in your head. I think that's a reasonable thing. If you think about Frozen, most people think of the Sandwiches song and the Let It Go song. That's 2 really solid songs that you come out of it. I think with Wicked, you've got Defying Gravity and Popular. Yeah, 2 songs out of an entire play, I would feel is like a really good average.
I would say probably if you were saying what's the song you're thinking, you're probably doing Diana's Lament song. You're probably thinking that, and then
All my life I've been told I was perfect. You're perfect, they say. What can I do if everybody thinks I'm perfect? Who am I to tell them it's not true? Any team, any pick, any party, any question at all. The answer's always me, and I'm embarrassed to admit it, but perfection fits me perfectly. Oh, I know it's easy to see.
I think those ones were ones you'd probably remember very well after that. Maybe you remember some of the other ones, but
there's the more average. You really, if I was writing a musical, I would want to write 2 really good songs, work really hard on 2 of them. And not that I wouldn't work hard on the rest of them, but I'm just saying those ones, you really want at least 2 to consider it to be a successful musical. I think we can all assume that you don't think that everybody's going to remember all of the songs that you create. I was talking to somebody about Frozen a couple of months or years back or something, and they said, well, there is only 2 songs. I said, do you remember that there's this song at the very beginning? There's like people cutting ice. They are just sawing away at ice and they're also singing about it. And they said, I don't remember that. And I said, see, there are songs in musicals which do not directly affect the audience's minds. There are songs even in Wish that really terrible. Yeah, there are ones that I didn't watch it either, but I did listen to the whole musical track. And not for the reasons that you think are these songs the most popular, because they're actually just so bad. Does that make sense? Sticks in your mind. So there's the evil bad guy song, which honestly, if you've got an evil bad guy in there, those songs are usually pretty fun, poppin'.
those are like, banger songs.
They are. Like you take Lion King, for example. Obviously, there's the song, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? I think everybody can understand that one. There's obviously the song at the beginning, but that is an outlying kind of thing. And then people remember Scar's song. Like, that's a really good one, right?
Or in Tangled, you remember Mother Gothel's song.
Exactly. So there is a song, she's got an I Wish song. What is the motivations of the main character? Kind of thing. Her song is just so bad that nobody knows what she wants in life. And then you learn nothing about her during that song. Does that make sense? So that's a pretty bad song. And she has no goals and aspirations, is what it feels like. And then there's a very bad song when the star comes down and it starts making everything magical, because it sings a song and the song is talking about evolution or something, which just genuinely makes no sense. It's very confusing. The star is basically saying everything is made of stars, so we're like besties or something. I don't know. It's a pretty bad song. There's rhyme schemes that make 0 sense. I do remember it because it's so bad. And then the villain song. So again, that's 2 songs that are bad, but are, I guess, somewhat memorable in that how bad they are. And then the villain song is just a really bad villain song. I'm going to be super honest. So you don't feel like he's a villain. His villain song should be hammering home the fact that he's a villain. And really, it's just him saying, why aren't the people listening to me? I'm a really good king. And then he accidentally touches an evil magical artifact that turns him evil. That is a bad villain song. But anyway, let's get back to Anne.